Everyone's Galaxy Z Fold 6. Let me know in the comments down below. I know some of you are waiting for them, or are you getting them today? I saw a lot of comments. Some of you have had them for days already. Let us know how you like it so far. And if you want to pre-order, link down below. Help support what I do on this channel, and you get fantastic deals as well on the phone and the accessories. Now, the first story of the day has to do with the Galaxy Z Fold 6 Ultra and what it potentially is going to look like. Now, supposedly, per Ice Universe, this is what it's going to potentially look like, which is, if you look at it, it literally is like two Galaxy S24 Ultras stuck together with like no hinge, or really a small hinge at that. But ultimately, supposedly, it's going to look something similar to this. Two S24 Ultras stuck together, and that would be the look of it. And if it does look like that, that's obviously, that would be pretty cool. Having two, where's my S24 Ultra? It's charging right now. But two S24 Ultras to look side by side like that would be pretty incredibly awesome. And having ultra cameras at the same time, but with no S Pen support, that would be my dream Galaxy Z Fold phone. But again, that phone's only supposed to be coming out in China and South Korea, so you'd have to import it, which isn't the end of the world, but I don't know if I'm willing to go to that step, that length, to get that phone when and if it does come out in October. But what do you guys think? Do you think that S24 Ultra, or two of them stuck together, would be like the dream folding phone or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, speaking of the Galaxy Z Fold 6, there's been some broken ones, and I like to cover this, especially in the beginning, because they're reliable. I don't think this is going to be the norm. This is the exception. People and devices break all the time. It doesn't matter if it's an iPhone or a Samsung phone or a computer screen or a computer. There's going to be faulty units, and these so far look like some faulty units. This first one shows off a kind of greenish screen or white screen, and he's got the whole, you know, the breaking in the middle there. He said he broke this one when he was trying different cases on. He was taking one off and then putting the other one on, and then it happened. So obviously probably some kind of loose cable is going on internally. But again, I don't think this is gonna be happening to everyone, but I do wanna put it out there that screen failures have begun in the last 24 hours of people getting their phones. And then this other one is, he didn't do anything with the case or anything, but he has like a green flickering thing going on with his screen, and it shows it off in the video. And again, he didn't say he dropped it. He didn't say anything, had any issues with it or anything like that. So yeah, kind of an annoyance for sure. They're gonna return these phones or exchange them and get new ones sent out, but they have to wait like a couple weeks to get their replacements, which is really sucky. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I am not. I woke up to an email today. I still have not received my pink Galaxy Z Fold 6. Received my blue one, which is in this big case, and I know a lot of you gonna be like, that's ruining it. Such a thin phone, man. Can't put a big thick case like that on it. Chill out. But back to my pink phone. I don't have it. I ordered it. This is one of the when I ordered it. I ordered it before the Samsung event was even over. Before it was over. Right at the beginning of the event, I ordered my pink 512 gigabyte Galaxy Z Fold 6. And now we're into now, and it's been, I received my dark blue one, and then my pink one, still haven't received it, and I got an email today saying the following, that it has been order delayed. We'll update you when your order ships. This is an unexpected delay in shipping. We will send you a new delivery date confirmation as soon as we are ready to ship the delayed item. We apologize for any inconvenience that this may have caused you. Thank you, your friends at Samsung.com. You are not a friend of mine if you're sending my damn phone late. And I looked also at my order, and it says estimated delivery. There has been an unexpected delay. We will update the new delivery date at the earliest. And I also looked at the Samsung page where you can actually buy the Galaxy Z Fold 6 in pink, and it's showing a date towards the end of July if you buy a 512 gigabyte. Now, I wonder in my heart of hearts if it's because of other things that are in my order and Samsung is too cheap to send just my phone. I can't imagine I'm delayed on my phone. I got to imagine that because of other things that are in my order, that's why I'm delayed. I ordered the Watch Ultra and I ordered the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, if you've been hearing about the news, potentially might be recalled. There might be an issue with them. I've spoken about that a little bit. And then also the Watch Ultra, maybe that's a hot item, at least in terms of how many they produced versus what they have. So I've got to expect it's probably more of the accessories holding it up rather than the phone. Because I know some people that have already had the pink phone in hand. It's just crazy to me. It's such a pain in the butt. If you change the B to an A, you know what I'm gonna say. So yeah, real pain in the butt. Super annoyed by this. Is your order delayed? If so, which color, variant, all that did you get? I got unlocked pink 512 gigabyte. There you go. You can see that headline right there. One UI 7 beta will start from the end of July or early August if there are no accidents. So if you have most likely a Galaxy Z Fold 5, a S24 series, one of those phones, then there's a high probability you'll be able to get the beta when they push it out towards the end of this month. One of the big features of One UI 7 is a kind of an overall change of design that's going to look more iOS-ish, more iPhone-ish. But then beyond that, it's supposed to bring a lot faster animations than ever before to Samsung. I'm probably more excited about that rather than the new icons and things that are going to look more iPhone-ish. What about you guys? What are you most looking forward to with the new version of 7 software from Samsung? Check this story out. This is all about the Galaxy Z Fold 6 Ultra, and that is that the thinner, lighter, foldable phone will be equipped with an 8-inch internal screen for the first time. In addition, we'll have a 6.5-inch external screen, which is larger than the 7.6-inch and 6.3-inch of the regular Z Fold 6. This should have been what the Z Fold 6 was. I don't know why it's not. Maybe we'll get that in the Z Fold 7 next year, but the Z Fold 6 Ultra or Slim, whatever they end up calling it, looks like it will, I guess they're calling it the W25, will be called that. So that's what we have to look forward to if you want to import it or buy it directly, or if you live in China or South Korea. The Verge posted an article the other day that says the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 is a great phone that's out of ideas. Samsung's flagship foldable is as good as ever, but it feels anything but fresh. I want to talk about that because really, when you think of almost any product that is very mature, especially in its 6th generation, like this phone, there's not a lot of freshness probably to be had. You can go to almost any product that's ever been created, and I don't know if you're gonna have a lot of freshness. So I wanted to talk about, is it possible to have freshness? And then is it still a great phone at the end of the day? So let's first talk about freshness. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 in its 6th generation right now. There's other foldables on the market, some from Asia, some from here in America with the Pixel Fold and the OnePlus Open. And where does the freshness lie? Well, if you look at any of those phones, they're all relatively the same. Now, the Chinese ones might be lighter or near the same weight or a little bit lighter. They might be thinner. They might have bigger displays. But does that add freshness? Is that something completely different? Because if you take a slab phone like an iPhone and get a bigger display or a smaller display, again, does that add any freshness? I'd probably say no to that. Now, I'm not saying that those aren't wanted or welcomed upgrades when those things happen, but do they give you freshness? No. Now, what about if you add faster charging, or if you add brighter displays, or you add better cameras? Do those add freshness? Not really. Every phone has a camera. Every phone has somewhat fast charging. Every phone has somewhat really bright displays. Now, there's varying degrees of all those things, but I don't think in any sense of the word that it adds freshness, because I think the way they're tailoring their article, if you read the line, it's a negative thing. And I don't look at the Galaxy Z Fold 6 as a negative device at all. At all. I look at the Galaxy Z Fold 6 as a refined, incremental over the years, but a big increment if you start at the 1st and go to the 6th and everywhere in between, But it's an incremental upgrade that's nearly, and there's some things that need to be fixed, nearly perfected in a lot of ways. Now, how could they make it fresh, or are they even able to make it fresh? And I think the answer to that really is lying within the software. I think software is where you can make big leaps and bounds and make a phone feel fresh. Now, the Galaxy Z Fold 6, from the first generation to the sixth generation, there are some differences. Obviously, AI is probably the biggest out of all those changes with Galaxy AI. It didn't launch on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It wasn't even on the fifth. It eventually came to the fifth in some of the older phones, but it didn't launch with it. And the sixth obviously launches with it because it had come out previous to that. So I think in one direction, yeah, you can add some freshness to a device with AI, artificial intelligence, making the phone more productive to use, more powerful to use, more fun to use. You look at that thing with the sketch to image where you can draw something and that whatever you drew will come out on the photo or the drawing that you had and create this thing that wasn't there before and make it look realistic. That's a really neat and cool thing. That's a fresh idea. You could look at it at that way. Hardware wise, I don't know if there's many things that you can add to it to make it feel fresh. You can always improve it, but I don't think you can make it feel fresh. Unless I think one thing they could do, but I don't know if it would completely change the way of thinking, would be like, okay, there's like no body to this. The phone's just a screen. The battery's huge still, but it's just a display, but it's super thin. That would maybe be a fresh idea, but that's to come probably now or probably never. So I really think it's going to end up being a software thing that we see with adding to freshness. Now, some other ways they can do that, and they're looking to do it is, and you could do this on the side by downloading new icons, but Samsung is updating their icons for the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and other phones that will get One UI 7. So you'll get new icons. That adds a level of freshness. But again, you can download different icon packs and things through the Galaxy Store or through the Google Play Store to add some of that freshness. Then the other things that are on there are using the phone in different ways. The way we interact with the phone, the way we use it. Have it be when they came out with swipe gestures versus the buttons at the bottom. That was somewhat fresh. I mean, I know Samsung didn't invent it. It came from Android itself, but it's still, that's interacting with the phone in different ways. I can't think of many ways that they could change things that would make it feel fresh, but there's things like that would make it feel fresh. Interacting with the phone, AI software, the ability to use and interact with the phone in terms of being able to change your experience because of the software. Software has to be the fresh point, and it's just time and honestly copying other companies and learning from those other companies and making it your own. That is going to create fresh ideas. But I think the only freshness that'll ever come for the most part throughout the years and is going to be new products. The Apple Vision Pro, to me, even though it's kind of similar in some ways to VR headsets, is a product that feels fresh to me. It feels interesting. It's very intuitive. It's not like me when I go back to a VR product sometimes where I'm like, all right, how do I do this? How do I start this up? Apple Vision Pro isn't anything like that. It's just I put it on, I instantly know how to do it. I don't have to learn how to use it. That felt like a fresh product to me. So I think fresh products or fresh things are going to be brand new products. And then obviously as the product gets older, it's not going to feel so fresh. It'll just get incrementally better. Of tech news, we got a little bit of Samsung mixed with some big time official Google news. So let's first jump in to the Samsung stuff first. It has to do with One UI 7. If you remember, the iPhone has dynamic island. Looks like Samsung's getting something very, very similar when it comes to One UI 7 and all the phones that will get it. This has been leaked out by Ice Universe saying that One UI 7 has no dynamic island, but it kind of does. It just has an eclipse icon on the status bar for prompting, and One UI 6 there was only a call display in One UI 7. Other functions have been added, such as stopwatch and recording. I think the expansion of this smart function is not imitating Apple. So it looks like you'll still be able to interact with that little thing there. Kind of the same, not same, but similar to the way that Apple has done it. Obviously, Samsung's doing it in their own regard. And you can also see that with Apple sometimes. Apple will come out with a feature and you're like, hey, that's very similar to what Google does, what Samsung does, whatever somebody else does. And then Apple kind of reinvents it for their own liking. And it looks like Samsung's doing a little bit of that with this. I think it's gonna be actually kind of interesting to be able to long press it, tap it, double tap it. It's gonna do different actions. It's a smart way of using the display. I know I'm pretty much looking forward to this. Let me know about you guys. Galaxy S25 Ultra is, man, I had huge hopes for the battery and especially the charging. And it looks like we're getting the same thing for the 1 millionth time. Ice Universe is tweeting out that the S25 Ultra still has the same 5,000 milliamp battery and 45 watt charging. That's absolutely insane that they have not increased the charging speed for, I don't even, what has it been, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years? They've had 45 watt charging for a long time. They've had 25 watt charging even longer than that, and that's still on some of their flagship phones, such as the Galaxy Z Fold 6 to this day. When are we gonna see a change? I don't know if they're scared from what happened with the Note 7 and that overheating process, or if they don't think it's needed or not. And to agree with them, just to play a little devil's advocate, they don't really necessarily need to improve the charging speed. The battery lasts a really long time, especially on the S Ultra phones. It's big enough at 5,000 milliamps, but what they're probably trying to do is get this phone slimmer so that they can keep the same battery size in there. And then also to the fact that with the charging speeds, they're probably like, hey, we don't need to do anything and we can make our profits better. That's my guess on this. They're obviously not gonna say anything about, oh, we didn't wanna upgrade the charging speed because we wanna make more money. But it is something to think about as a consumer as to why they might be doing that. Next up is all about the Pixel 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL, 9 Pro Fold. The names are ridiculous, especially the Fold. Like, come on, just call it damn Fold 9 Pro or something like that. But anyways, the Pixel phones, we've been luxuried. Is that even a word? We've been labored, we've been loved, we've been given the official specs. I'm not gonna show the official documentation just in case of a copyright strike, but we have it in a nice little list. And OnLinks has put all of this stuff out, and I wanted to go through this with you. So we're gonna talk about the Pixel 9, the regular 9. It'll have a 6.3-inch Actua display. This is probably just a marketing name, obviously. 9 Pro will have a 6.3-inch, and the XL model also have a 6.8-inch Super Actua display. The 9 Pro Fold has a 6.3-inch Actua front display, which is the cover screen, and an 8-inch Super Actua Flex display on the inner screen, which is gonna be, again, the biggest folding phone here in North America and a lot of other parts of the world. The rear cameras, the 9 has a 50 megapixel main, 48 megapixel ultra wide. The 9 Pro and XL have a 50 megapixel main camera and a 48 megapixel ultra wide and a 48 megapixel telephoto sensor. The 9 Pro Fold has a 48 megapixel main camera, so that matches the regular 9. So even though they're calling it a Pro Fold, it doesn't have quote unquote pro cameras, 10.5 megapixel ultra wide snapper and a 8.8 megapixel telephoto sensor. The front cameras, you're looking at 10.5 on the 9. The 9 Pro and XL have a 42 megapixel. Ooh, that's a big boy right there. And the 9 Pro Fold will have a 10 megapixel selfie. Again, kind of, yeah, actually it's under the 9, the regular 9. So, but man, whatever. Processor, all 4 Pixel 9 series, these have to be the Fold or the regular ones, will have the Tensor G4 processor. If I had to guess, I would guess that the Pro Fold will probably perform the best because it probably is the least amount underclocked because it has the most space in the phone. The RAM, the Pixel 9 ships with 12 gigs, while the 9 Pro, Pro XL, and the Pro Fold all have 16 gigs of RAM. That is the most RAM on a folding phone here in North America, tied with the OnePlus Open. Google says these phones are engineered and designed for AI. Big surprise, everyone's pushing AI right now. Google promises 7 years of security updates and pixel drops. That matches what you get on a Galaxy Fold 6 right now, you will get the emergency SOS with new pixels that shoot crisis alerts about nearby fires and floods. It also claims to thwart malware and phishing scams. The Pixel phones will also have Pixel screenshots, which helps you save info that you want to remember, like events, places, and more. You can open Pixel screenshots later to find what you are forgetting or missing. In a way, it's like a watered down Microsoft Recall feature, which it sounds like you'll have to interact with it in order to take that Pixel screenshot so it remembers. The promo material also shows that various ways Gemini AI and Circle to Search can be helpful. Last but not least, the 9 Pro XL and probably other models will come with a 1 meter USB-C to C cable in the box. No charging brick to be seen anywhere. Whoa. Lot to unfold there, no pun intended, with the Pixel Fold. But I think when I think when initially I was hoping and I thought that the Pixel Fold would have really quote unquote pro cameras. And I'm not to say that the cameras still won't be good, but it totally amazes me that these, even though, and there's a camera bump too on that Pixel Fold 2, Pixel 9 Pro Fold, whatever you want to call it. It just really shocks me that they're not pushing it in a way that it matches up with the rest of their phone lineup. Like, what's holding them back? Is it a money thing? Is it a design thing? Engineering thing? What could it be? In my heart of hearts, I hope it's more of an engineering thing and not them just being cheap and saying, hey, we don't want to spend an extra couple bucks on some better cameras for you. Again, I think these cameras will be really good. I just think and know that if there's something else out there that's costing less money, such as a 9 Pro XL or 9 Pro, I want those same damn cameras, especially if you're calling it a Pro. You can't call this thing a Pro Fold and it doesn't have Pro cameras. Got a big day of tech news for you. We're gonna start it off with a budget phone from Samsung. It's gonna be the Galaxy A06, and it's gonna be, I believe, their thinnest phone or thinnest Galaxy A phone ever. And here's the specs on this Galaxy A06. So the A06 will come with dual rear cameras. It has a compact flat design, which will be 167.3 by 77.9 by 8 millimeters, to sport a 6.7 inch flat display. Again, the dual rear cameras are aligned vertically. It's got USB Type-C port and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So if you want a headphone jack from a Samsung phone, you might want to look at this one. Security handled by PowerKey integrated fingerprint sensor. Also, the display is made of LCD HD plus resolution, so basically 720p plus. MediaTek Helio G85 processor, so not a speed demon. 6 gigs of RAM, again, not a speed demon. Android 14, big 5,000 milliamp battery, 15 watt, quote unquote, fast charging. This should be available very, very soon. Now, One UI 7 should be out like today, tomorrow, the next day, but very, very soon. And how are you gonna download it and set it up? But before we do that, I just wanna show you a couple of things. First of all, this is gonna be their new kind of dynamic island thing that they've got going on, where you tap the top and it will bring down a menu so that you don't have to either go into the app, or you don't have to go into your settings or into the quick toggles or anything like that. It'll just press that thing at the top and it'll bring some stuff up. Now, also, here's what the Gallery app will look like. Complete change to what we have now. This looks more like the iPhone version of their Photos app. But then beyond that, though, just be prepared. This whole beta version might be really, really buggy. So you might not want to download this on your main phone. You might want to hold off. And you're also going to ask me, which phones is it available? I don't know specifically all the phones it's available. But what we do know is that it's going to be available in these countries. Those countries are United States, United Kingdom, Germany, Korea, India, Canada, and Poland. And I would assume it's going to be for eventually it'll be for most of the phones, but it's going to be for the newer phones first. I would guess like the Galaxy Z Fold 5. I didn't say 6. 6 will probably come later, but I would guess the Galaxy Z Fold 5. I'd guess the S24 series would be a couple of the phones that are potentially getting this. And when you do get this, you want to go into your Samsung Members app, and you should have a banner at the top that says One UI Beta, One UI Beta 7 or something like that. I didn't have it yet on any of my phones, but you want to check this multiple times a day. Make sure your apps are updated for Samsung Members. Make sure you close out that app and reopen it to check. And then once you have it, you want to go into your settings and then software updates to update and grab it. But again, it's going to be kind of buggy, I would suspect, so just be prepared for that. But yeah, it's got some nice different changes coming to it. It's probably one of the biggest UI type changes in a long time for Samsung, so I'm kind of actually looking forward to it. Today again is going to be all about Samsung's One UI 7 beta. Now, it's not officially out for, you know, everybody out there in the world. I talked about that yesterday. It looks like it's probably going to end up coming out in August, which is just a few days away. It's really this coming week, but it hasn't stopped from us being able to see basically most of the major things that are going to be changed on it. And I use this as my wallpaper for my video yesterday, my thumbnail, I should say. And I didn't talk about it, and I should have. That's I'm going to talk about it today. So let's just dive right in to it. So first of all, you're going to see redesigned app icons. You saw one of them yesterday with the new Gallery app. Some of the other designs are different now too. Again, that's not really a huge deal with this, due to the fact that with the redesigned apps, you could do that anyway by downloading app packs through the Galaxy Store or through Google Play Store. So again, there isn't anything crazy there, but just something to know. Then you also get the new home screen customizations. Now, it doesn't dive too deep into what it is there. It just shows a bunch of squares and what they used to look like versus what they look like now, from classic now to bold. Create your Galaxy avatar. I thought we had avatars before. Didn't we have those before? I know, I swear I had one before, but it looks like they're gonna have new avatars that you can design, or at least more customizations to it. The new battery indicators are now pill designed rather than, I think they were like square before. I like it. I know some people aren't into it. I'm cool with it. It gives it a different feel, especially on the Galaxy side. Vertical app drawer. That's right. So finally, on your, is there any of my phones dead? Whatever. You know, like instead of going left to right to see your app drawer, now you can go up and down. It used to be a little kind of a hack with Good Lock that you could do it, but it just wasn't really the same as everything else. So now you'll be able to go up and down vertically. Finally, I'm so happy about that. It's probably one of the most major things I'm really happy about on my app drawer, to be able to go vertically up and down scrolling through it. Dark mode icons. So now your icons will also be dark. I know Apple introduced this recently with their latest beta, and now Samsung has it as well. Smooth animations. One of the big things about One UI 7 is that the animations, meaning when you go in and out of an app and you're just scrolling around and you're going in between things, it will feel a lot smoother. The animations will be a lot better. Now, on the first beta try, I've heard that they're not so much, but it should be improved time over time, and they're even indicating it right there. Galaxy AI is more advanced than ever. I don't know of anything specific that Galaxy AI will be gaining from One UI 7. I'm not saying it won't gain anything. I just don't know anything specific that it would be gaining, but you got to assume it's probably going to gain something or be improved in what it can be able to do right now. Beta early August, like we said, so it should really be the first week of August that it starts rolling out to people and their phones. New lock screen customization. So on your lock screen, you'll be able to customize it a little bit more. The biggest change to One UI ever, meaning that this is going to be the biggest change physically to One UI on here. The redesigned camera app. So the camera app will look like this now. Everything will be really at the bottom, all the controls, instead of at the top and the bottom, which is cool. I think that's smarter. Revamped live activities. You can see that little thing next to the time, the red thing. You can tap on that. That's going to be their little iPhone thing, where the iPhone has like a notch that you can interact with. Now Samsung kind of does too, where you can interact with that top part instead of having to go into the app or go into a widget or something like that. It's going to be like a live type widget, you could probably call it. Separate notification and quick settings for a clutter-free experience. So now notifications and quick settings are separated. You can swipe down from the top right of your screen to get to your quick toggles, and then from the top left to get to your notifications. So might be a little bit better for you to do that. It's kind of the way Apple does it right now. Now I also wanted to show off this, and this is just showing off what the quick toggles look like. On the left is the One UI 6 type icons, quick toggles, and then on the right is the One UI 7 quick toggles. And you see the pill design at the bottom there. I'm digging it. I don't really, everything's bigger too. I think it's good. I think it's good. I really, really do. I know it's copying Apple a little bit, but whatever. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with these companies kind of copying each other, because you can't always be the original at something. You can be the improver on things. And this is an exciting update, I think. The last few updates for One UI 6, outside of the AI added additions, have been kind of boring. So this is a nice little revamp. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.